All right, welcome back to Raff's Brain, a show about things that are interesting to me. I'm your host, Raffety, and it's time for another episode of Riffin with Raff, conversations with people that I admire. And I'm coming at you with a special episode today, folks. I'm sitting here in my hometown of Buckhannon, West Virginia, at a nice little joint downtown Main Street, Stone Tower Brews. You might hear some traffic in the background. There's a guy that's doing laps with a motorcycle. He's playing obnoxiously loud hip-hop. You might catch up some of that in a minute. Apologies for the interruption. But it doesn't matter, because I'm across the table from one of my oldest friends of childhood, a gentleman by the name of Cody Hollen, Code H.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Raff.
It's great to see you.
You as well.
What are we drinking here?
Beer.
Yes. They have a very nice selection, and they order by number. And I don't really know. I just kind of pick a number, and it's like a Russian roulette sort of thing.
Yep.
But you can't go wrong. It's a nice venue, and I'm glad that we're here. And they're going to be closing soon. So we only have a little bit of time to delve. It's about 8:40. We got about 20 minutes before they close up. But I wanted to just check in with you, buddy. It's been a while. How you doing?
It's been a minute. Doing good.
We try to connect every time I'm back in town. And in our text message exchange, you shared with me something pretty remarkable. Well, first I should guess for context, folks. I've known Cody for a long time. One of my first friends when I moved here in third grade, 1983, I think was the year. Does that sound right? Let's just roll with it. Early 80s.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
We made a robot together. It was like a little trash can that had a tape recorder that played Michael Jackson. It was very cool. Did a lot of good stuff back in the day. Mrs. Cook. We had a trailer for our classroom.
Sure did.
No one told me that. That was a big deal at the time, but I guess they were expanding the academy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've known Cody for many, many years. But the subject of the conversation today, I've essentially going to be a recurring guest, Code H. But we're going to narrow the subject because in our text message exchange, I was like, yeah, let's get together. He's like, yeah, well, I'm going on a little bike ride. Oh, just a little bike ride. Here's the guy. There's one of the guys. Hey, what's up? Stud. All right.
We're all impressed.
Bike rides. I want to get the quote. It was hilarious. Like, I'm just going on a little bike ride. I'm like, okay. And then you sent me the photo today. It's like, oh, I just got back. You sent us a picture of the map. Holy moly. Congrats. This was the second most elevation gain you've logged in a ride. Elevation gain, 4,495 feet. I don't know what that means. 4,495 feet. Distance. This blew me away. Do you even look at this? 52 miles, 0.86, almost 53 miles ride. 5 hours, 41 minutes. Average power, 177. I don't know what that means, but dude, you're on a bike ride, man.
It's a big ride.
Big ride. We didn't live in an area where we could ride bikes a lot growing up. I mean, we live in the country. But you've become, I know, a big mountain biker, or I don't know if is that what it's called, mountain biking?
Just a cyclist. I like all cycling. Mountain, road.
How did you get into this? Talk to me about this. I don't actually know that much about this part of you.
Well, honestly, when we were growing up, we didn't live that far apart from each other.
No, but we didn't ride bikes.
No. Well, you didn't.
I did. Were you like on a puffy and dirt bike sort of thing?
Oh, that's how it started. Yeah. It was like some hand-me-down of a hand-me-down, like junk bike.
Yes.
But I loved it.
In the woods more than the roads?
No, in my yard. I just did laps around my house.
You had a really big steep incline to your house. I remember.
Yeah, the driveway was pretty steep.
Yes, but up there you couldn't.
You know, but eventually, you lived close.
Yes, Gabe.
Our buddy Nathan lived close.
Yes.
Our buddy Gabe lived close. Eventually, I asked my mom for a good bike, and I started riding up and down the roads.
That's a little risky. This is back in the 80s, baby.
Not back then. Listen, the roads we lived on then weren't very busy.
Yes.
Now they are, but then, no.
We're going to talk about this in a separate episode. Let's put a pin in that.
All right.
But traffic, every time I come back here, it seems like it's getting worse.
Well,
it's unbelievable to me.
People are expanding out to where we lived.
Yeah.
When I grew up, down below me used to be an empty field. Now there's like 5 or 6 houses.
Yeah.
So expansion is...
It's what happens.
It's happening.
Yeah.
You know, even though we're a little small town, it's happening.
All right. Let's get back to the bikes. So you biked a lot. You liked this as a kid. When did you get more into it as an adult? I mean, I feel like there's a gap. You lived in the West for a while. You traveled around. We don't have to go over your whole life experience.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. I've been around a few places, but
you've been in Buckhannon for a while.
It all started when, like, things like running hurt too much.
Yeah.
Shin splints, knee problems.
It became an alternative to other forms of exercise
Yes.
that were no longer feasible.
Yes. And once I got into it,
But
loved it.
What about stationary bikes? Yay or nay? You ever
Only if necessary. Like,
you never be like a Peloton guy?
well, it takes the fun out of it. I like exploring.
Yeah.
I like going out on routes that I may have not done before, or one like today. I haven't done that route in
Right.
5 years.
Explain to me where do you start this route? 50 miles, 50 some miles. I don't even that's farther than it is to get to Elkins from here. So where do you
Yeah.
even start?
Well, here's how it all started.
All right.
My dad passed away in 2016.
Rest in peace.
And after that, I decided that I wanted to do something hard because he suffered for a while in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I thought, he was hurting. Now he's passed.
Yeah.
I want to do something that hurts. So I picked out a route all my own, and I asked a friend. I said, hey, I want to go do this. I'd like to have company because it's a long route. It's a hard route. I've never done it before.
Is it a defined route that you could go online and say, what's a hard, or is it like when you kind of map out yourself?
I just mapped it out myself.
Wow.
I said, hey, what do you think about this? And he was all in. So we took off one day.
And did you have any sense of how long it was going to take?
Only by using maps.
Just the general.
I didn't realize how hard it would be because of the elevation.
How far?
Because essentially, you're going up the watershed. So you're starting at the lowest elevation and going to the highest elevation over the course of 52 miles.
But you get to come back downhill and cruise? Or
At the very end, you have a 5 to 6 mile downhill.
Okay.
Which is fun.
Yes.
But
getting there is
the challenge, yes.
So where does it start?
It starts at my house here in town.
Wow. No
We
way.
started from my front door.
I don't believe you.
Well,
Camden Avenue.
Started at my front door, and we took off today at 8 o'clock, 8:15, and worked our way. It's a bunch of back roads and gravel roads, and we tried to stay off the main drags as much as we could. And
all right, this is unbelievable. I love it.
That's why I wanted to pick it, because it was, off the beaten track a little bit. I mean, yeah, you're still in some side roads that are paved, but we tried to hit as much gravel roads that still exist.
Is this the one that you did it on your dad? Or is
Yes.
Yes. When you did today as well?
Yes.
You redid that?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Because I haven't done it in a while,
you
and
wanted to reconnect on that.
Yeah.
It's probably like a cathartic if you're preparing for this, do you care about your time, or you just want to finish it?
I don't care one bit about my time.
Okay, good.
And
I respect that.
the friend I went with today, I led with this. I said, hey, I'm going to take it easy from the get-go because I haven't done this in a while. I haven't really trained for it as much. He's been on the bike a lot more than I have. And I said, he's never done this route. This is the first time he's done it with me. So there's some hellacious hills. Like 3 mile long hills on this route. So I said, I'm taking every hill, no care how small or how big, I'm taking it slow because it hurts. It hurts after a while.
The technology of bikes has evolved a lot since I was young, and I haven't really kept up with it.
Sure.
But I understand that you have some pretty cool things, like the gears now could be such that you could be going up a hill. Obviously, it's challenging. It hurts, but there's a way to do this that's a little more.
Yes, technology's come a long way, but the bike that I did it on originally is the same bike I did it on today.
Okay, how many gears does that have? Not that I don't
it's
care.
a single speed single cog in the front, which means I don't have to switch gears on the front, and it's just got, I think, 12 gears on the back. So, the lowest gear is still manageable, but I wish I had another gear to go up the steep stuff.
Okay.
So we call it a 1-by, 1 in the front, 12 in the back or so.
Okay. This is all making sense to me. Now I have a couple more technical questions.
I'll try.
Not really technical, more just curiosity, because I'm thinking, I always imagine bad things happening. Like,
Sure.
I'm going to get a flat tire. My chain's going to fly off.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a cell phone. That's cool. You can call AAA for whatever, you know.
Not back there, you can't.
Is your service done out there?
Pretty much.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's risk.
There's spots where you get cell service.
All right. How's the wildlife out there? Is it's not like black bears and stuff, right? Or maybe. You're not going to
We were well into black bear country, but we didn't see any today.
Okay.
Saw lots of deer, lots of turkeys.
Yeah.
Tons of wildlife.
Yeah.
Due to the recent storms, we actually there was a tree blown over the road. We had to hike around it.
Any other bikers out there with you? Or
no. Didn't see one other biker the whole time.
Sounds like this could be like the beginning of a horror movie, or it's not. I mean, I'm just saying. I imagine like the dangers that are lurking everywhere.
Ah, sure. I mean, you can't live in fear though.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Okay. So, how do you prepare food? Do you pack it on like the night before? Do you carb up, or is there?
Tried to carb up. Tried to hydrate up. But today went really well because I took plenty of fluids. Took plenty of food. We stopped, took breaks, we ate. In Helvetia, we stopped.
Oh my gosh. Swiss town.
Yep. We each got a Coke because from Helvetia to Pickens, that's the 3-mile climb. So we wanted to kind of prepare for that. So
is it on a road or is it off-road or it's probably mixed?
It's a mix. We started, I would say it's probably 60% pavement, 40% gravel roads.
Wow.
No trails. Just back roads, side roads, because we wanted to get off the main drags to avoid traffic and stuff like that. So, you know.
And what about the weather? There's like a risk of big rain and stuff too. You were like, whatever. I'm just
not today. Today was good.
I actually don't really.
Today, that's why we picked today. We looked at today. The hurricane has already passed through. It didn't affect us really. So Saturday we were watching the weather all week.
Yes.
For this ride, me and my friend, and it was up, it was down, it was. Rain chances went up, then they went down, and then we checked it Friday night, and we're like, let's do it. So off we went.
And how often? You said you haven't done this ride for many years, it sounds like.
5 years.
Will you do it again sooner, you think? How do you feel right now, by the way? How's your physical constitution after that ride? That's a lot, dude. 50-some miles?
Yeah.
Are you going to be sore tomorrow a little bit?
I won't be sore.
Because you ride a lot anyway.
I try to ride. I probably put 60 miles a week down.
Damn.
So, but I usually do 20-mile rides.
Okay.
20, 25.
This is a push. This is a real like step up.
Huge step up, especially with the elevation. That's a huge elevation to climb in 50 miles. Okay. So, yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
So it wouldn't be like you wouldn't recommend me join you on this ride for my first trip.
Absolutely not.
Well, how long would it take an average bear? I'm not that out of shape. I'm okay. I do yoga. People know if they listen to the show, I'm a hot yoga fiend. But that's not cardio.
No.
But I'm good with intensity. I'm good psychologically with enduring uncomfortable discomfort for a while. So I understand some psychology of it. But anyway, I'm guessing what I'm getting at is maybe someday we could ride together.
Hey, buddy.
The question is...
Get a bike and I'm all for it.
I would need a lot of help on understanding types of bikes to consider and that sort of thing.
Well, there's
lots of
a lot of great bikes out there. My buddy rode a gravel bike today.
What is that?
Is
that a brand of bike?
No, well, it's a type of bike. Like I rode my mountain bike. Mountain bikes, typically have a little bigger tires, a little better gearing for the climbs and stuff, and they're a flat bar across. The gravel bikes are a cross between road bikes and mountain bikes. So they have the drop handlebars like a road bike.
Yeah.
They don't have any suspension. My bike has front suspension. But it has the gearing and the tires, which aren't as big as mountain bike, but they have knobs on them for like back roads. They're designed for like gravel rides.
Got you. A little more loose soil or whatever.
Well, just gravel. Just not pavement.
Okay. Okay.
So he rode his gravel bike today, and he crushed it. He did great. He's been riding. He's training for a 24-hour race in North Carolina next month.
Holy.
So we both did it last year. He did the 24 hours. I did the 12 hours. He dropped 303 miles or 305 miles in 24 hours. I got 143 in 12 hours.
Wow.
So, yeah.
This is intense.
He trains a lot for cycling. I cycle for fun and for some fitness, just to, I don't know. exorcise the demons some days, you know.
Now, question, it's just interesting. Do you listen to music? Do you listen to anything? Or are you like, just, I'm going to commune with nature, I'm going to have my thoughts? Does it mix
a little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Depends on my route. Some days I'll put one earpiece in one ear, listen to some tunes, so I can still hear the traffic out of the other ear. Some days I go nothing, so I can hear everything. Just depends. Just depends.
I like it, man. This is fascinating. I didn't know this side of you, Code H. I didn't really... I knew it. I've seen you post about it on Facebook, and we've talked about it, but that might be the most we've ever talked about it in depth.
Well, I also have an interesting side note about this story.
Let's lay it on us here. This is the place to reveal.
It's kind of sad, and it kind of bothers me some days, but my friend that I initially did this ride with for the first time, after my dad passed away, I expressed clearly why I wanted to do this. And it was for my dad's passing.
Right.
And, you know, I created this route, and I asked him to go with me.
Yes.
We did that ride for 2 years in a row. And we got more people to do it as a group.
This is like a thing.
Yeah. And I was happy about that.
Rick Hollen, right? No.
Yeah. Well, that was my dad,
Yeah.
But then there was a falling out between me and the original friend.
Sorry.
Which is silly to me. Yeah. But they're still sticking with it and holding that grudge. And now that group does that ride without me, which kind of right here. Yeah, right in the heart some days. So that's another reason that kind of motivated me to do this today, because I was like, now's about the time of year that they do it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them do it this year, so I don't know if they did or they didn't, or if they are or they aren't. So, you know, I chose another friend that was more than willing to do it and has never ridden it with me, or never ridden it, period, at all. So off we went. So
when you're finished with that, do you do any sort of like pouring out, you know, I don't know, how do you think about it? Are you just so exhausted by the time it's over, or do you, I don't know what your philosophies are on, you know, the afterlife or communing with the, you know, people? Like my mom passed away recently, so I think about this stuff even a little bit more now too. But like, is there any sort of moment where you're like, "Hey, Dad, all right," you know? Do you feel like
I did it privately to myself?
Sure.
You know, I don't know what's out there after all this is over. You know,
no one does. But it's nice that you're honoring it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it at some point, you know, during the ride or afterwards. Cool. You know, that's why we're talking about it.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Well, awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to do to honor him, really, after he passed, so I thought this was a good way to do it.
It's a very cool way to do it, and I'm sorry about the...
We're going to close the register in a few, so...
Okay.
We're going to bounce...
Can I get one more, by any chance?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow. Throwing them down.
Gotta rehydrate. Kinda. I don't know.
Detox.
We're on a podcast, you know?
Detox to
beers
retox.
and buds.
Yeah, and you're a big So we'll just like give a little preview. Cody wants to do another podcast.
Well, a podcast.
A
not
podcast.
Another. I've never done one.
Let's pitch it real quick here. It's a podcast about nothing.
About nothing. But
it might be fun how you
you know,
said like draw out random topics.
Just, you know, like I said, I like to liken it to the show Seinfeld, which I love.
Everyone loves
I still
Seinfeld.
watch.
Yeah.
I watch it over and over religiously for whatever reason, because it's still funny to me.
It's still one of the funniest things out there. It's kind of wild.
I just love it. I just love it. I watch it. You know, I put it on my. Here's a little tidbit. I put it on my phone when I go to bed to kind of fall asleep to. You know, and I just put the episodes on and thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate
Excellent.
it. And I just listen to it, watch it, and it never gets old to me for some reason. So I thought, it's always called the show about nothing, but there's always something. There's always a story, so I thought maybe a podcast about nothing and just see how it goes.
Well, we might have to pilot that.
Hey,
one day.
I'm all about it.
This has been a fun little conversation. I'm glad we had a chance to connect. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Raff's Brain.
Yeah, me too.
Code H.
My brain.
You're gonna be a recurring guest. I have quite a feeling about that.
I hope I can. I hope I don't let people down.
You're not gonna let you won't let my tens of listeners down. I promise.
Hey, I'm all about those tens of listeners.
Yes, I've said this before.
I appreciate you guys.
Thanks. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you more than Cody. We both appreciate you. You're here early, and maybe this could be the beginning of Raff getting into a mountain bike experience.
Ooh, challenge.
And then I would then document that journey.
Challenge accepted.
So stay tuned for more. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.